The final award this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is a special award. A special award for a special person. When we honor people like these, I like to term it CALYPSO royalty. There are people who have been ultimate pioneers, have done things that nobody has ever done. The person that is going to be awarded right now in the category of the Everybody's Magazine Ken Chandler Award is the lady who up to today has a title that no other woman in the history of Calypso has ever done. And even today, after all these years in the business, she still has that title. That says a lot for this lady. It's a lady who we have all listened to, have composed calypsos from the Bicycle, Fire Fire, Rosie are Making a Baby, Lewi Punta, and much, much more. Are Going Down San Fernando, Her Majesty, Come Lewi Jam, and much more. To present the award to this distinguished lady, we like to call on a distinguished man in the New York community. He is the mayor's representative in the Caribbean American and African American community, dealing in the affairs of the various communities, none other than Mr. Hulbert James. Here he is, Mr. James. And to present the plaque to this distinguished lady is a distinguished gentleman who we saw earlier on. Another Calypsonian who has royalty written from his head to the last bit of toenail on his toe. This is the man, Alwyn Roberts, the Grand Master, Lord Kitchener. Calypso royalty again. Kitchener will be presenting the plaque to the distinguished lady we're talking about. And Mr. James will be reading about her. Mr. James.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the most prestigious award in the magazine for art and culture. And it is in memory of our first photographer whom I never even had the opportunity to pay a dime to. He passed away when he went to cover the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival of 1978. Killed in a car crash within hours upon his arrival for Carnival. But 2 days before he departed, or 3 or 4 days, he met me at Charlie's Record on Fulton Street. And he said, "Are you not covering the Carnival?" The magazine was then 1 year old. And I said I had no money to send a photographer to Trinidad. And he said, "If you are going to be in the business, I am going to go to Trinidad." And he went. He never came back. And this is the highest honor. And Calypso Rose, most of Calypso Rose's early photographs, I had them because Ken was the photographer. At that time, my son Henry, who is somewhere out here, who is 17, will be 17 on the next week, was about 2 years old. At that time, Calypso Rose was his favorite Calypsonian. But Calypso Rose touched a lot of our hearts. And for those of us who, all of us here who are recognizing Calypso Rose, I want you to help Everybody's Magazine and help me in choosing the 1993 Ken Chandler, the recipient of that award in 1993. You can fill the form in your coupon in the booklet, and you have all year to send it in, because we'll be releasing the 1993 winner of the Ken Chandler Award in late December, December 31st of 1992. For me, it's a very touching moment, both for Ken Chandler and for Calypso Rose.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. This has in fact been a long evening. Most of the Calypsonians were here on time. I got here a little bit after 9 o'clock because Herman Hall said to get here on time. I was here last year and had the honor of presenting this award on behalf of the Mayor of the City of New York and Everybody's Magazine. Let me first, on behalf of the Mayor, extend to you and the members of the Caribbean community his heartfelt thanks for your cooperation in helping the city to get through what it got through this week. The Mayor has gotten a lot of accolades, but he is very clear that it is because of the gorgeous mosaic that is New York that this city survived this week. So on behalf of the Mayor, I wish to thank all of you. This is an extra honor for me, not only to be here since 9:30 and to hear all the fine music and to meet and greet all of the fine Calypsonians that are here, but I am a child of the Caribbean. My mother was born in Tortola, my father in St. Croix, and I was born and raised in St. Thomas. I remember growing up and listening to Calypso Rose and Kitchener, some of the songs I didn't know what you were quite saying then. Still don't know what you were quite saying then. But we used to sing them anyway, and sometimes our mother would say, don't sing those songs. Like something about a small comb to scratch her. I'm not going to say the rest of it. But anyway, so it's really an honor for me to be here tonight. I was supposed to be last Sunday night, as a matter of fact, at Trinity with Calypso Rose to present her and recognize her on behalf of the Mayor at her 22nd album, but I hope Calypso Rose, as you come forward now, will excuse me, and all of the audience who was at Trinity would excuse me, for if you understand that on April 26th, I was in Central Park organizing the 50,000 people that was there to greet the President of Haiti, President Aristide, and that's the only reason I was not there with our Queen. So what I would like to do now is to have all the men in this audience, since this is Mother's Day weekend, to stand up. All the men in this audience. And I want you folks to give one loud clap on behalf of, one loud clap. And let's have all the women in the audience to stand up. All the women in the audience, all the mothers and soon-to-be mothers, everybody. Stand up and let's greet our royalty, our Queen of Queen, the winner of the Ken Chandler Award, Calypso Rose.
Punta.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to say something about Calypso Rose. Calypso Rose, a great composer of calypsos. She won the Queen competition more than 12 times. Calypso Rose was unbeatable for 20 years. Calypso Rose has done something that only two other Calypsonians have done. That is by winning the Calypso Crown and the Road March together. And she's the only female Calypsonian that has beaten both female and male in a competition. Calypso Rose.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. The question has been asked from 1955 to 1992. Rose, how you did it? I says, faith, F-A-I-T-H, has brought me from a very long distance. And once you have faith, you will have the grace to abide with all the principles, all the criticisms, and all the gates that have been locked before you. Grace and faith have brought me to. Thank you. So therefore, I must thank the great omnipotence, that's the great God of heaven, for sustaining me for 37 years in the business. Without him, I couldn't have made it. Because I came back from way back in 1955, whereby, as we all know, there was a time where Christianity rules the whole Caribbean, especially the country or the island I came from, Trinidad and Tobago. And I stood there and I showed them where this is a talent, it's an art, and this is nothing degrading. So I must thank God, and I thank all the musicians who have stood by me from my first recording in 1963 to my present album right now in 92. I want to thank all the DJs, all the Calypsonians, all the promoters, Mr. Straker, Mr. Charlie, and all the promoters who have seen fit to take me, to record me where so by. I want to thank all my fans. I want to thank all my fans for keeping me, sustaining me, and most of all the critics, because when Rose don't hear she name, I say something wrong. And in doing so, I don't want to be too lengthy. This is the 15th anniversary of Everybody magazine, and as you could see, my picture is there. Buy 5 copies as a collector's item. Send one to England, one to France, one to Trinidad, one to Tobago, one to Grenada, one to Jamaica. Buy them all. I want to say thank you again. Thank you.